Grand Risings. Today is Self-Care Saturday, April 23rd. And this is your Shekinah Wisdom podcast. Today, my lovelies, it's our favorite day of the week. It is Self-Care Saturday. It is the day that we pour into ourselves and we treat ourselves like royalty. We treat ourselves the way we expect to be treated. If you don't pour into yourself the same measure that you pour into others, you'll never arrive at your destination. We talk about reciprocity in relationships external from us, but what about the reciprocal relationship you carry on with yourself? Is it truly reciprocal? Do you honor you as much as you honor you? What do I mean by that question? Okay, let's take, for example, when you give you those red flags to let you know that things are unsavory, do you heed them or do you ignore yourself? These are the questions that we need to ask ourselves and pay attention to the response. Because if the response is we respond in ignorance, then that means that we don't honor ourselves. And how can we expect others to honor us? You set the stage on how people treat you. If you are constantly inviting mistreatment into your life and you're not escorting it out, guess what? Other people are getting the red flag that you are accepting of that mistreatment and you will continue on that path. But you don't have to be on that path. That is what I'm here to show you. I'm here to show you that you can have a brand new paradigm in your life. I was supposed to go on yesterday for the Dish Just In, but due to technical difficulties, I'm just going to include that into this segment this morning, right? We have to learn and understand how to honor ourselves, right? You cannot complain that people are not honoring you if you're not honoring you. And you honor you by the choices you make day to day. Your day-to-day acceptance and allowance of what comes in your life shapes your reality. And that's why it's important to erect healthy boundaries. See, people don't know what your limit is, and that's why setting healthy boundaries allows them to know what that is. It teaches them what are your rules of engagement? If you want to engage with me, this is what must be met, And if these things aren't met, you cannot engage with it. You can't engage with me. And it's just that simple. But the hard part is actually executing it and carrying it out. When you have been in a pattern of accepting the bare minimum from people while giving your maximum, it may be hard for you to break out that paradigm. But that's okay. We are here to help you on your journey if you need assistance in that mode. And so that you can walk with your head up and be able to erect those healthy boundaries, right? It's not easy to saying no when you've been saying yes your whole life. But you have to think about what are the outcomes of you simply saying no. Think about the peace of mind that will come from it, right? And we're not talking about from narcissistic, oppressive people who, when you say no, like that's intact to them, and then they're going to do whatever in their power to try to get you to lower your guards down and accept whatever concessions they decide to make. But you don't have to do that, right? Think about yourself. Think about your optimal outcome, right? And think about how you can get there. You can't get there by lessening yourself. You can't get there by shirking your responsibilities. And what are your responsibilities? You are your responsibility. Start loving people like the way you love others. Some people love people outside of them more than they love themselves. I was one of those people at one time. And I'm here to tell you that when you do that, those people are not going to respect you. Why? Because you don't have self-respect. And once you gain self-respect, then you're going to level the playing field. And when you do, there's going to be those tests to see if you've learned that lesson. If you're going to be that pushover that people step over and use and abuse, that can only be done with your participation. That's what I want you to know and understand. People cannot abuse you without your participation. Once I figured that out, it was a no-brainer. I nipped it in the bud immediately because I realized that it was the access that I was giving people that was making it possible for them to do what they were doing in my life. So I had to cut off that access. You don't get that access anymore until you show and prove that you are operating from your higher self. That's how I move nowadays. I've been hurt too much by hurt people to know and understand that you, especially when dealing with hurt people, you have to erect healthy boundaries. And most of the people in the world are hurt, so you have to act accordingly. But also know how to recognize real ones. See, that's what sometimes life journey is all about. It's to teach us that, we can make another choice. And with that choice comes other outcomes. And we have to you can find your own adventure. See, there used to be these books when I was a kid. Find your own adventure books, right? So when you read the book, at the bottom of the page, they'll give you a choice. And if you pick one choice, you'll go to one page. And if you pick another outcome, it'll take you another page with a whole other list of outcomes, right? And those books were fun because every time you picked one up was like another story. Like you could read one book 15 times, and every time you read it, the outcome was different based on the choices you made. And I applied that to my everyday life and realized that's how life really works. Sometimes you just have to make another choice. And when you make another choice, you're going to have other outcomes. Why did I have to make other choices? Because I realized the choices that I was making kept landing me in the same place. And I didn't want to be in that place anymore. So if you do the same thing, expect the same results. So I just switch it up a bit. And as I switched things, I had to figure out what needed to change. It's not easy sometimes figuring out what needs to be changed, especially when you have become so comfortable being toxic. And when you do figure it out, though, your life changes and you start accelerating, right? In a way that is unimaginable. Life is truly what you make it, my lovelies. And I want you to know and understand that the foundation of that is you. So nurture, honor, love on you today. Do what you want to do. Make you complete. Make you feel fulfilled. And watch the outcome. Now, if you need further support, head over to the website, shekinahwisdom.com, where you can book an appointment. If you want our therapy, head over to iamucollection.com. And if you simply want to support the work we do here, you can Cashapp Unearthing the Truth. All right, my lovelies, you have a wonderful, amazing self-care Saturday.